We have many advantages on doing a digital smile design for your ortho cases when you are going to treat your patients with aligners. The number one advantage is the possibility that we have inside the software before moving the case to the Clincheck or any other aligner software to plan and simulate uh, many options of treatments, to test drive some options. Okay, so we can have inside the software not only the STL files but of course all the photos, and we can translate these models, right, to patient's face. So this is a great way for us to validate everything we're going to simulate here in patient's face. Okay, so we have a patient that she has a crossbite, crowning, a lot of things to adjust with ortho, and in this case with the software we can segment our teeth and we can move and test to move them to a better position. Okay, what I'm going to do here now is exactly what we did. Okay, so we have here a simulation of our teeth move to a better position. Okay, so we have initial and we have final. Okay, and again we can bring patient's face and see initial and final. Okay, we can also in patient's face we can remove the lower arch, right? And let me remove here so we can better see all the movements we need to do here uh, in several angles and evaluate if this is something ortho can do with this expansion. We can compare initial and final. So it's a great exercise for us to better plan our cases. And as I mentioned, when having this final design, deciding if we're going to add restorations, we can bring this idea that you see in white to patient's face and check if this is something that is going to be good. Okay. The second advantage, since we have a lot of visual content, is to bring the patient to participate in this process, right? So here we can share, we can do mock-ups, we can share these ideas with a lot of image so patient can really understand what we want for them. They can visualize in advance our goal and they can make better decisions. Okay, so a great advantage, this number two. The third advantage is that the same design and the movements we are planning here, we can export to the Clincheck. Okay, and then inside the Clincheck that you are seeing here, all the movements that we are checking at this moment, they are not by coincidence because they are being guided by this design that you see in transparent blue, okay, which is the same design I just presented to you in white. Okay, so here we know that the movements are moving teeth inside this design, so we are going to achieve the final position that we plan in advance. Okay, and in my opinion, one of the most important advantages is the following: the the quality control. Okay, quality control is something that we have been using for all the cases we are planning the past years, and I'm talking about more than 3,000 cases that we move from this design to the Clincheck using the design as a reference. Okay, and we can also use the design to understand if we achieve our goal, because this is the outcome after one set of aligners. Okay, so here we have a much better occlusion compared to the one that we had initially. So we could correct the crossbite, we could improve the midline, as we can see here. Is this case ready? Can we finish ortho? Can we move on to the next phase of this treatment? How can we know this? By doing the quality control. Because since we have the ideal final position, which is this green, we can compare the model that we achieved with the outcome we achieved so far with this ideal final position that we planned initially. And we can see here that we still need to expand a little bit more if we want to achieve this white design that it was planned and approved by the patient. Okay. At this moment, we can also evaluate our protocols. We can see where we were and where we are, and understand if the strategies, the overcorrections, the staging, the attachments are working. Or sometimes it's a good moment of brainstorming to validate the protocols and to understand the ones that work better than others. Okay, a great way for us to learn. So the quality controls are very important, not only to check the outcome so far, but also to plan what else we need to do in terms of orthodontics, right? Because here we have this actual position after the first set of aligners. We have the design that we want to achieve, and here we can again export and use this inside this information to guide the Clincheck again to keep going until we finish achieving exact the same position that the patient already approved, that we understood as a team in an interdisciplinary evaluation that is the ideal for this patient. Okay, so summarizing here, the four advantages of using DSD with Invisalign or with aligners is one, to test drive a lot of options and validate these in the computer, make mistakes in the computer to avoid making in patient's mouth. The number two, to bring the patient on board so they can participate, visualize, understand better, and make better decisions. Okay, accepting the ortho more. The number three is exporting these decisions to the software you're going to plan, Ortho, the Clincheck in our case, so you can use this reference to better move teeth to this ideal final position with more accuracy. And the number four is to use this reference of the final position that we plan to do a quality control, to validate and to be sure that we achieve or not this final position, to explain to the patient that we need more ortho sometimes, and this is very, very interesting. Okay, let me know if you want to learn more about this integration between doing smile designs with aligners and the importance and how to use these. I will be glad to help you. Okay, see you next time.